Okay, I'm here at Willowbridge Marina, and what I'm looking at here is the rear end of a lifeboat. It's what you call a drop lifeboat, and it hangs on a thing like an oil rig or ship or whatever, and everybody piles in and then they just drop it. It drops into the water like a torpedo and bounces up. And if it rolls over or anything happens to it, it can drop 50 feet onto solid concrete. If it rolls over, it will just roll straight back up. I think it takes about 50 people, and it's an amazing piece of equipment, and it's an immensely strong boat. Go to sea in one of these and you have no problems, except there aren't any windows and you're going to get very seasick. But that can be, something can be done about that. And you can, you put some windows in. Now, one of the issues about converting these to homes, and you may see them on the internet, I'll just move around the front a bit. I'm trying to give you an impression of the height. One of the issues about having one of these and converting it to a home is that it says on the advert 6 foot of full standing room, or 7 feet or whatever, and I think you can get the impression, I don't have another person here with me to stand next to this. These things are really tall, so you could actually trim the top off and level it and get rid of that wheelhouse at the back there at the stern, and put something more normal on, so that it could be worked as a boat. You can't really work this boat. It doesn't have any deck area or anything like that. It's not a normal boat, and it never was intended to be a normal boat. Unfortunately, whoever owns this, it's got a tarpaulin on it, so I can't really show you the rest of it. But you can't see things on the internet anyway of these drop lifeboats, so anybody wanted to convert one of these, they could do it, so I'm going to go around the side here and try and get a good quarter shot on it, and there you go. Now, next to it, also on hard ground, is what you, for anybody who's abroad, not English or British anyway, this is it's called a narrowboat. It's a British narrowboat, and that's out of the water. Now that gives you about 6 feet of standing headroom, and if you look at the height of that compared to the height of this great big orange thing, you can see that there's a vast amount of ceiling space available in that. Now, if the headroom is restricted at all in this, is because there is something going on with the floor. I haven't been inside of one, so I can't really tell you. But I would imagine there's probably the floor of this thing is rather higher up than in a normal boat. But you could do some modifications and bring that floor down, and you could trim the top off and you could flatten her out. Certainly something I would fancy doing, converting one of these, because boy do you get a lot of boat for your money. And despite any appearances on this, this is a brand new boat really. It hasn't actually done anything. All they do is just hang in the davits until they're actually required. They've probably got a safety routine where they have to be started every now and again, hence the very low running hours on the logs of these. You have an engine running time of maybe 3 hours for years of service. And that's why, because they're just being started up. Yes, the engine works, guys. Okay, everybody get out. That's fine. We're ready. And hopefully they'll never get used. Well, most of them don't. And they're sold off for a song. And if I can get round the stern again, I'll show you something around the stern, which is very interesting for those who like this sort of thing. And I like this sort of thing. At the stern, down there, is Yeah, that's a quart nozzle. It's called a quart nozzle. It's a Dutch word, quart nozzle. And that thing there, it basically encapsulates the flow of the propeller, so it just washes straight out the back. And what happens as a result of this is you get an awful lot of thrust. It's very good for low speed, and that's what you want. It's kind of like going off in first gear, and it's good for towing things. That's why it's used on tugs and things. And I personally would leave it on. I would put some sails on this thing and sail her as well, because she's got an awful lot of features about her, very similar to a Dutch Challeck. My favourite boat, the Dutch Challeck. And you could do an awful lot with a boat like this, a hell of a lot. So that's it. Quart nozzle, a very, very big boat. They're only about 3,000 to 5,000 pound each, and I got a new engine in there. I see that there's an awful lot of flotation on the floor here. I guess this guy must be taking it all out and doing work inside. I don't know. Unfortunately, he's not here to tell me. So that's that then.